The movie kicks off in a sunny park where two Mormon missionaries, Sister Barnes and Sister Paxton, chat about an unusual topic: pornography. Barnes is the confident pro, having brought 7 people into the church recently, while Paxton's a bit green, super faithful, but shocked by a porn actress's life after sneaking a peek at a video. Turns out they're on a mission to visit folks who've shown interest in their church. Next, they roll up to a house, and Barnes locks their bikes to a fence, tucking the key in her pocket. She knocks, and a friendly retired Englishman, Mr. Reed, opens the door. The sisters introduce themselves, saying they're there to talk about his curiosity in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He's all ears and invites them in, blaming the stormy weather. They hesitate. Rules say a woman needs to be there for safety, but Reed charms them, mentioning his wife's busy whipping up a blueberry pie. Inside, he takes their soggy coats to hang up and pops off to check on snacks. A few minutes later, he's back, promising his wife will bring the pie soon. They all settle in with hot drinks, ready to chat. Before diving into religion, Reed chats with the two sisters about their past. Paxton says she grew up in the church, while Barnes shares that her mom joined later. After her dad died, they hopped between churches, unsure of their path. Reed nods, saying he gets it. He's wrestled with faith himself. Then he asks Barnes how her dad passed. She's caught off guard, but says it was Lou Gehrig's disease. Reed mishears, jokingly calling it blueberry disease, thinking she meant pie. He quickly backtracks, embarrassed, and Paxton jumps in, saying she'd love to come back as a butterfly to flutter onto loved one's fingers as a little hello. Things get awkward, but Reed steers the talk to religion. At first, he's polite about their beliefs, but soon he's grilling them on tricky stuff like polygamy in Mormon history. Barnes explains it was a way to rebuild the community after tough times, dropped when it wasn't needed anymore. Reed won't let it go, though, even as the sisters squirm. He rants about how flawed humans can't be trusted with divine truth, and questions how anyone knows what's real. Paxton says simply, "It's about how it feels to me." It dawns on the sisters that Reed just wants to argue, not listen. Barnes cuts him off, asking to meet his wife. Reed pauses, then says he'll get her and steps out. Alone, Barnes spots a blueberry pie-scented candle on the table. No wife, no pie. She whispers to Paxton, "Reed's been lying." They agree something's off. When he returns, empty-handed, and invites them to the kitchen, they dodge it. Barnes fibs, "Oh, the church just called. We've got to go." Reed heads inside, muttering about telling his wife their guests are leaving, while Barnes whispers to Paxton that they need to get out, now. They dash for the front door, coats forgotten, only to find it locked tight. Paxton tries her phone, but there's no signal. A strange noise echoes through the house, and suddenly the lights flicker out. With no choice, they creep deeper inside, stumbling into a library, where Reed reappears, all smiles and charm. The women insist they have to leave, but Reed casually says the front door's on a timer, locked until morning. He suggests the back door, but something feels off. They push for the front exit anyway. He refuses, his vibe shifting from friendly to creepy. He accuses them of faking a church call, revealing the house's metal walls block all signals. No phone, he claims, smirking. Barnes, fed up, tries the back door. Basement. Another door? Basement again. Trapped. She bluffs, saying the state president knows they're here, and Paxton adds, the police saw them arrive. Reed shrugs it off, unbothered, and drops his real game. He's here to dismantle their faith with logic. No God, he says, scribbling belief on one door and disbelief on the other. Pick a side after his argument. Believers go one way, doubters the other. Paxton, spooked, caves fast, flattering Reed and picking disbelief to escape. But Barnes, she's not buying it. She argues back, sticks to her faith, and grabs Paxton's hand, pulling her through the belief door. Big mistake. Reed slams it shut, locking them in the basement below. Barnes and Paxton, trapped deep inside the house, start to panic as escape seems impossible. Things get spooky when they hear footsteps coming closer. Earlier, Barnes had secretly snagged a small knife while Reed was distracted upstairs. She slips it to Paxton and whispers a plan. When she says magic underwear, Paxton should stab Reed to fight their way out. But when the door creaks open, it's not Reed. It's a frail, ghostly-looking woman in a gray dress, holding a lantern in one hand and a blueberry pie in the other. She looks half-starved, her bones poking through her skin, and the two women freeze, unsure if she's real or a spirit. Then Reed's voice crackles through a speaker, announcing they're about to see a miracle. He claims this woman is a prophet. The pie is poisoned, and after she eats it and dies, God will bring her back to life. Sure enough, she takes a bite, collapses, and stops breathing. Reed's still raving about her resurrection when the doorbell rings, cutting him off. He dashes upstairs, leaving Barnes and Paxton with a chance to escape. They bang on the cell door and yell for help, but Reed soundproofed the place. No one hears them. Desperate, they light a cloth with a match, hoping the smoke will signal someone outside. Upstairs, a guy from the church shows up, asking about the missing missionaries. Reed lies smoothly, saying 2 women stopped by, but left right away. He'd already hidden their bikes to cover his tracks, and the church guy buys it and leaves. Back downstairs, the smoke plan starts working until the dead prophet suddenly gasps and sits up, freaking out Barnes and Paxton. Reed rushes back, overjoyed, and drags the prophet away while pressing the women to admit they saw a miracle. Barnes isn't buying it. She calls it a cheap trick meant to mess with their heads. That's when she yells, "Magic underwear," to cue Paxton. But before Paxton can move, Reed strikes first, slashing Barnes's throat. Paxton bolts to the door, pounding and screaming, but it's useless. Reed, eerily calm, tries to soothe her, insisting Barnes will revive just like the prophet did. When Paxton heads back to the basement, Reed drops a bombshell. There's no resurrection for Barnes. He pulls a contraceptive device from her arm, smirking as he calls the whole miracle a sham, like something out of The Matrix. He says Barnes was a fake, just a pawn in his twisted game, and dares Paxton to pick a side, miracles or his simulation theory. Paxton's not buying it. She calls him out, piecing together his con. The resurrection? Staged. When the bell rang, Reed swapped Barnes with a look-alike. She'd clocked the differences in the body's face and position. She even shoves a table aside, revealing a hidden trapdoor. Reed shrugs, saying if the real body's down there, she's right, but she'll have to check it out herself. Fueled by guts and a need for answers, Paxton climbs down. Sure enough, she finds Barnes's corpse. Proof Reed's a liar. She shouts her victory, but Reed just locks her in, salty as ever. Undeterred, Paxton presses on and spots a door secured with her own bike lock. Using the key from her pocket, she opens it and stumbles into a chilling sight, a secret cellar with women trapped in cages. Reed creeps up behind her, asking if she's found the truth. Paxton connects the dots. He'd been pulling strings all along. That key in her pocket? No accident. He'd swiped it from Barnes's coat earlier, setting her up to end up here. His one true religion? Control. He gets a kick out of manipulating people, just like some warped preacher. The caged women, he claims, chose this fate. Reed taunts her until Paxton snaps. Tears streaming, she stabs him in the neck with a hidden knife. Chaos erupts. She bolts, but the house is a maze. Reed, bleeding but relentless, catches her and guts her with a stab. They collapse, blood pooling. As they lie dying, he mocks her to pray. Paxton, ever faithful, does, showing grace despite his evil. Just as Reed raises his blade to end her, a nailed wooden block cracks his skull. It's Barnes, barely alive, saving Paxton with her last breath before crumpling. Inspired, Paxton drags herself to Reed's study and leaps out the window. Outside, she catches her breath. A butterfly lands on her hand, a sign of Barnes's spirit, ending the nightmare with a flicker of hope.